This is Adam Gorney, the Rival Signing Day Show, now joined by North Carolina coach Mack Brown. And Mac, we were just talking about this. Should February go away? Is December the time now? Would you prefer just be back to February like the good old days?
Adam, I really would. I think it would allow us a chance to talk to our team more with transfer portal like it is about who's leaving. It would let us recruit transfers to come in, and you'd have more time to have a national signing day, and you'll be settled more on which coaches are staying and leaving. So young guys wouldn't be making decisions and having to appeal to try to get out because the coach left. So I'm not sure we shouldn't have one in August or June, 1st of July, and then have another in February. And let the legacy kids, the kids that know what they want to do, the early signees sign in August or in June, July, it's somewhere earlier. Leave December for transfer portals and for bowl games and playoffs. And I think we'd be better off. This year was just crazy for coaches, head coaches. You're losing coaches, you're hiring coaches, you're preparing for your bowl, you're recruiting high school kids, you're having official visits, you're losing guys to the portal, you're bringing guys in from the portal. So it was just absolutely crazy, and I'm not sure it was healthy for anybody.
Yeah. I do want to get to portal stuff because you've made some good comments and some things that are worthy of debate. First, let's talk about this recruiting class. 19 of 20 guys come from Virginia to Georgia. That recruiting footprint for you, how important was that? How intentional was it to say, hey, we can recruit nationally, but we're going to hit home first?
Adam, with the NIL and the transfer portal, it really changes how you navigate recruiting. You got to find guys that are close to home, that grew up loving your school, that come for the right reasons. And ours would be a lot of academics. We're an academic school that can win all the games. And at the same time, NIL has changed that as well. So it better be the passion of wanting to be at the school. So we've always been a footprint recruiting group, but this year I think it's even more important than ever before. And we'll take that guy from outside the footprint, like a Sebastian Cheeks last year, that's an academic young person that wants to come, but we're going to highlight a place where the high school coach, the friends, and the parents can come and see them play.
I guess it's a compliment that if other coaches are contacting your players or outside people are contacting your players for NIL money to go elsewhere, but it's certainly not taken that way. Um, does the NCAA need to get their hands around this? Does there early in NIL there was talk about congressional legislation around this? What has to happen so, for example, a Drake May isn't contacted by other schools for NIL money to go elsewhere?
Adam, people were critical of me in the media for saying that there was tampering, but you wouldn't call out the school. It's all done through agents.
Yeah.
So it's hard to prove tampering anymore. The player has to say it, but even the player doesn't have direct contact with the other school's agents. So when you start looking at it, I think we're going to have to look at something that occurs with the agent, because tampering's out there. It's real. It's there's negotiation now on whether a young guy would stay or not. It's happening in a lot of programs. We've been very fortunate that it hasn't happened with us to a degree that someone would leave because they love this place. But I've got a lot of friends in this business, and some have been fired, and they've lost their best players because other places just come in there and absolutely pay them to leave. So, of all the things that are going on right now that are bad, I feel like that players being bought off someone's campus is the worst that we need to deal with immediately.
Talk about North Carolina being a development program. It's obviously important that you recruit high school. You're going to have to dip into the portal, though, for some places. You've had success there. Some guys leave, some guys come. What balance do you strike in terms of how much you want to do that? And then on top of that, how difficult is it to quickly learn if that guy is a right fit for you?
Yeah, Adam, we're all learning as we go here. It's so different. It's challenging. It's kind of a fun challenge, but we've been put in precarious positions that we never would have thought about 2 years ago. So even last year, we started thinking about, do you let a guy that's going in the portal stay and play in your bowl game? And we did this year. If they were leaving because they didn't have enough playing time and they'd done everything right, they helped us get to the bowl, we let them stay. If they were just leaving because they wanted to go play somewhere else, then they didn't stay and play. So that was one thing we had to address. Secondly, we said it last year, we were only going to take guys that could start. Well, now you're losing enough guys that are backups. You can take a really good player that may start, but he can also be a program player and really, really help you in special teams, because we're seeing a lack of depth, especially by the bowl game. We played 5 walk-ons on special teams in the bowl game because we ran out of some guys, between guys that were unhealthy and some guys that left. So we feel like also you've got to get the right fit. A lot of the guys that are transferring now are getting a whole lot of money, and we're not going to pay NIL money. Our collective's not going to do that. We're going to go by the rules. We're going to do it right. So that limits some of the guys that we can take. At North Carolina, you're limited on who can get in school. So we have to look at all those things, and we were able to sign 9 guys this year, all of which we think will help us, all of which could start, but if not, they're going to be in that 2 deep. They're going to be on special teams. They're going to really help us. And probably more importantly than anything else, Adam, they wanted to be here. And they're really excited about being here. And our strength coaches, they've had them for a month. We just got off the road, so we haven't seen them very much. But our strength coaches really like the addition of those 9, and they think they will change our team. And unlike the NFL, where you have a lot of the same team every year, it's like free agency now. We've got 20 high school guys and 9 new transfers. 29 out of our 85 will be new, especially when the others get here in June.
Yeah, I do want to highlight some of the high school guys, because I think especially at the skill positions, you did a phenomenal job loading up, from Tad Hudson at quarterback, Jordan Louie, which is sort of a late addition at running back, a guy that averaged, I think, over 10 yards per carry, and then 2 in-state receivers, Chris Culliver and Christian Hamilton. Did you feel like you needed a little bit more spark on offense? What was kind of the thought there, or were they just too good to pass up?
No, they were too good to pass up. We're in good shape at running back, but we love Jordan. We saw him early. We like his story. He's a tremendous student. He moves from Alabama to Atlanta to play and play in better competition, he felt like, with a better team. Love his parents. There's always skill in the state of North Carolina. We can find guys that can run, and we actually added Paul Billups to that group out of Virginia Beach, and then Chris Culliver and Christian Hamilton, that we feel like can come in and have an impact immediately. And we've been so lucky to have Sam Howell out of Charlotte, and then you got Drake May out of Charlotte, and here's Tad Hudson coming in. Tad's sister actually dates Drake, so we had a pretty good end there when we started looking at Tad, and it'll be fun to have Chip Lindsey working with him this spring.
Now that is a veteran coach right there, getting Tad Hudson's girlfriend sister hooked up with Drake. I mean, that is really good. That's smart level stuff right there.
Adam, I'd like to take credit for that. I think they've been dating since the 8th grade, so probably not my doing, but I will take credit for it.
That is North Carolina coach Mack Brown. Mack, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Adam. Appreciate all you do in coverage of our sport.